But the life breathed into these creatures was charged with evil, and the beasts turned against their masters. Fearing for his life, a foolish wizard and his young apprentice prepared a spell, hoping to scatter his opponents to oblivion. But the power of the spell was greater than even he could have foreseen. The whole world shook with a mighty earthquake, in which the wizard himself perished, leaving his apprentice with the arduous task of restoring the world to equilibrium.
Magic Carpet is an action-adventure game where you fly around an open world. This PS1 game is from 1996, but it is actually a port of a PC game from a few years before that. And that right there is already impressive. I mean, picture this game with these graphics on the PC in 1994. I mean, this game was way ahead of its time, graphically speaking. Even on the PlayStation 1 in 1996, this is pretty impressive graphics, both in-game and the cutscene graphics. The actual gameplay, not so much. See, the game's point is basically you're like this wizard's apprentice. You have a magic carpet and you basically have to rid the entire world of evil by flying around on the carpet and shooting bad guys. These could be anything from dragons, other wizards, to weird giant black centipede creatures. As I've said, the game looks great and is basically open world, but it controls very poorly. You fly in first person, you press X to go backwards and you press triangle to go forwards, and then you move around with your directional buttons and also the R2 and L2 buttons. It's really hard to slow down and speed up. You're either going way too fast forward or way too fast backwards. There's no happy medium. To stop dead in your tracks, it takes some real effort and timing. It's not something you can master, it's just something you have to do really slowly, almost like parking a giant pickup truck. The actual aiming and shooting at the enemies while you're both flying and hovering still is probably the toughest part of the game. It's really hard to really lock onto the enemies. Shooting the ground enemies with your various spells is something you can more or less master, especially when you're backing away slowly as you're shooting them, but shooting enemies in the air is really hard. I mean, you have to have pinpoint precision. I think I once hit a dragon flying around, but it was by sheer accident. I'm not even sure I knew the dragon was there. I just decided to shoot like a fireball once, and the dragon just happened to fly into my fireball. It was like a freak accident. It was like a bird flying into the engine of a plane, basically. While the world just looks awesome and it's really fun to explore a big open world, the draw distance in this game sucks. I mean, you can't see too far ahead of you. But you know what? That is something you would actually expect for graphics this advanced back in those days. I mean, this obviously can't be like Skyrim. You can't see things a mile ahead of you. That would make your PlayStation 1 literally explode. You have all your stats in the upper part of the screen. You can choose what kind of magic spells you use as you're fighting the various bad guys. And also you can press select to open up a bigger world map to see the entire area. The game has everything you want in a really great game. I mean, an open world PS1 game. And it's not just open world in one plane. You can fly, so you literally do explore the entire world. But just the fact that it's really hard to shoot the enemies because of the bad controls, and honestly, it's hard to fly around in general. Those two things make this a pretty lackluster game. Magic Carpet is a game with very impressive graphics, a cool world, and a very unique and interesting concept. But good graphics are not the main course of a game's meal. The main course is gameplay, and in this game, the gameplay is raw. I'm shutting down the Red Kitchen. Magic Carpet for the PS1 gets a lackluster Stan Bergman rating of a 5.8 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, my friends.